Hey everyone, it's great to have you all here today and excited to be able to present this webinar alongside my colleague Pradeep. This is one really excited about with really exploring opportunities to scale your print order intake process without adding operational complexity. And let's go ahead and dive right in. So my name's Zach Brinkman. I'm the director of sales here at GelatoConnect. I've been with the company for 15 months now. I've got 15 years worth of experience in enterprise software space before joining Gelato. And, this past 15 months, I've gotten the opportunity to speak with many PSPs from all around the world, learning what their day-to-days are like, learning this industry, the challenges, but ultimately the opportunities presented in front of all of you today. And that's what we're excited to talk about. And with that, I would like to introduce my colleague, Pradeep.
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Pradeep. I'm the Senior VP for Product at Gelato. Very excited to join Zach on this webinar. I've been with Gelato 7 years, been building software and technology for 15 years. My role at Gelato is to make sure that the products that we're building is enabling PSPs to thrive. I work closely with both our customers and our engineering teams to deliver. So very excited to share today what we've been building in order intake and how you can benefit from that.
Yeah, despite some of the uncertainty and things going on out there around tariffs and so forth, we see more growth opportunities than ever for PSPs out in the market. When we look at global brands like McLaren and Starbucks, they're looking to localize their production across the globe in the countries where their stores are located or where an F1 race might take place. They're looking at fast API digital ordering processes that'll allow them to really on demand fulfill the needs for their stores or for their drivers in localized regions. We also see trends of really shifting from offset traditional print into the more digital space, with companies really seeing the highest growth year over year in the digital world. There's also web to print storefronts like a Pressero, Infigo, Shopify, and a huge growth opportunities within in web to print. Goldman Sachs estimates that the creator economy alone is going to grow from 250 billion to 500 billion over the next couple of years. So tons of opportunity within that space to continue to grow in the digital world. We're also seeing major shifts with global print brands, like ourselves, like Silo, like Cloud Printer, where they need fast onboarding, reliable fulfillment at a global level, and PSPs you can deliver on really high volume work quickly for those customers. And we're seeing connectivity across printers, opportunities where folks are working together to fulfill additional orders, whether those are different products, new customers, new markets. There's a lot of unique opportunities to be able to create these relationships and partnerships to continue to grow together and ultimately drive more across your businesses. And when we look at this software and technology space, being able to scale ultimately with software and automation rather than the requirement of needing to add headcount through software, through AI, you can really find ways to grow and scale your business with existing teams and continue to drive growth and more profitability. And when we look at different ways for the order intake challenges, manual FTP processes or development work going into onboarding web to print stores or major print brands, we are really trying to help with the automation behind that. So when we look through major print brands, standardizing the SKUs, allowing you to select and onboard the products that you can, and doing so in less than an hour rather than potentially months or over a year. Giving flexibility through automated FTP orders and allowing you to bring on clients quickly and faster with less resources. And with web to print storefronts, providing pre-built integrations and SKU and product SKUs into those platforms that allows you to onboard those types of customers in minutes, rather than working on development and spending, weeks to months on trying to onboard those clients. And with smart order routing, providing a way to expand across different PSPs together and work together holistically. So pretty anything you'd like to add there before we dive into the demo.
No, thanks a lot, Zach. I just want to add that this is a live webinar, so if you have any questions, there is a Q&A button in your screen somewhere. So do keep those questions coming in. Towards the end, we'll try to take as many questions as possible towards the end. So with that, I'll jump into the demo and show a little bit how you can do these with GelatoConnect, how these volume opportunities can be tapped. One of the background, well, why are we doing this webinar? We speak to a lot of PSPs. While efficiency is a big theme, obviously, in terms of automating your work, what we hear more and more from PSPs is around how can I take on board more volume, um, and 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 this is a challenge which is restricted by the size of the IT team today, and what are the opportunities that you can unlock if that is not a limitation anymore. I spoke to one of our customers in the US recently, and they said in a year they take on only 3 customers to 4 customers in terms of API or program based work. That is because of the level of IT effort that is needed. What if you could do 50, 100, unlimited numbers? What would that mean for your growth? I think that's what we're really going to double click on today. So the first part that I want to show you today is just this shift to program based work. What does that mean? The B2B companies are now moving to a digital asset management solution. The consumers are ordering online. All of this is going to translate into orders that will come to you automatically when your customer will place an order without an email or a phone call. So in this world, we know that this is the direction in which things are shifting. So preparing for that and having a tool that can help you to quickly onboard such volume is crucial to tap into those opportunities. What you're looking at, I will share with you here in GelatoConnect. This is the new connectors interface. When you want to create a new connector, a connector is a connection that you create with a new customer. And in this example, let's look at API-based connector. What does that mean? This is just orders coming in real time in let's say an XML format. So you would just need to go in here, add a connector, and there are translations depending on how the customer is sending the data to you. That payload, you would be able to translate that into a way in which that can be digested and processed within GelatoConnect. It's that simple. So we've automated a number of pieces here, including things such as postbacks, defining the endpoints, how the order gets submitted, how the order status gets updated. All of that is pre-configured within GelatoConnect. So if you're working with some of your customers who would like to send automated orders, this system is basically ready for you. So that's the first part. You can create different ways of connectors. We will explore some of the other ones as well today in the webinar. But the most common one being an API-based connector, which has a lot of flexibility. For example, if your customer is using a different format to send orders into you, we use AI to translate that into a format in which Gelato understands already. So these are all time-saving mechanisms. So your IT team or your engineers will not have to invest the effort here. So the next part that I'm going to show you is a step above what I just showed. So why do you even have to configure things when things can just be a preset or a template? So let's look at some of these brands here. Cloud Printer, Silo Printer Picks, also Gelato Create. These brands combined are working with hundreds of different PSPs, and many of you may be doing work for them. So if you're doing work for them, why do you even need to go in there and create a connector and configure anything at all? So we've moved it from configuring to just clicks. So that's what I'm going to show you. This is the part that I want to highlight, which is for major brands such as the ones that I showed you. We have created presets to have preloaded integrations, and we have also digested their entire catalog, so you are able to just plug and play with a few clicks. So that's how interesting it is, which is that let's take an example of Cloud Printer. They have more than 100,000 products, right? Like, how long does this take for you to onboard them, right? This would be months of effort. This is what we are condensing into a few clicks. Let me show it to you in the product now. The actual steps, I shared the example, Cloud Printer, let's take that example. The actual steps you need to take to onboard a customer with 100,000 plus products. So the first step, in this interface here on the left of GelatoConnect, you see the customers. You first create a customer based on the name here, Cloud Printer. In the next step, everything is basically configured for you because we've detected that this is the customer that you want to add. We have created the API connection based on the format that this particular brand is using. And we have created the postbacks and endpoints for you to basically start receiving orders. It's that simple because it's template based. So the next step, once you've done the integration of the orders, is to actually add those products. So here you can now add products from a specific brand or a customer. So just go in and add from the product catalog of this customer. You can choose any one of these customers, and there's more brands that are going to be populated here. If you are participating in the webinar and you are a brand who's working with a number of PSPs and you have major challenges onboarding new PSPs or looking for new markets where you want to access PSPs, let us know. We can add you in here and add your catalog as well so PSPs can easily onboard and start doing work for you. So let's say in this case, I've selected the Cloud Printer catalog. It's just a matter of selecting which are the products that you want to support for them. Let's say you want to support cards, mugs, and calendars. You select that, and then you hit the next button. We have our AI product builder and a mapper which is running in the background to add all of those products for you. So basically thousands of products added with a few clicks, and that is because we are creating templates for each of these brands, so you don't have to do that work. Today, every PSP is investing effort individually to connect to these brands, and we are just centralizing that in one repository within GelatoConnect. Any thoughts from you on this, Zach? I know this has been a big push from our customers first and foremost.
Yeah, certainly. When we look at the example you provided, what I've heard from folks is just to, onboard the number of SKUs you just did, which is about 100. That type of work could be anywhere from 6 to 8 months of development and resources behind that. So we've taken that time away and essentially now allow you to do that in a couple of minutes. So for anyone that is a PSP fulfilling for these types of brands, your time to revenue is cut down, dramatically in terms of how quickly you can start to receive and process orders. So, this is really a great example too of how we were able to leverage AI and productize it within the solution. What I've heard from a lot of folks too is, I want to invest into AI, but I don't know where to start. And I think a great use case is our Connect AI product configurator. And this is something that is a great way to be able to get into, starting with AI.
Thank you, Zach. I'll move to the next highlight here in terms of order intake and growing your volume. This one relates to web to print storefronts. Naturally, or the shift in the market is that customers expect the seamless and self-serve purchasing experience. They don't want to talk to you, and this has been the norm for the industry or majority of the volume in the past. But I'm sure if I go and speak to my nephew or the next generation, we know how they want to engage with print and engage with PSPs, and that needs to be a self-serve experience. So it is the storefronts that enable the experience, and to efficiently process storefront work, which is coming to you from a storefront where an order is placed. That's where GelatoConnect plugs into and automates that workflow for you. Let's look at what this means. Today, on average, when we speak to PSPs, 70 to 80% of the work is sort of MIS and code based. Someone sending you an email or giving you a call, asking you for an estimate or a quote, which you then win or lose, convert that into a job. It becomes a paper job ticket in an MI system that you're using, where the production manager and the pre-press team is basically, this is like craft work, where each and every job is taken uniquely and processed, but that results in a high level of efficiency, which is what you can move with regards to storefronts. What is really exciting is that the PSPs that we've spoken to and some of our customers, they believe that they can move 50% of the current code-based MIS work, at least 50%, into a storefront sort of workflow. So the storefront could be either your customers going to a storefront and ordering directly with you, right? Or it could be a storefront for your internal sales team. Instead of them having to, create an estimate and a job from scratch, they would just be able to go in and put those orders in with a pre-priced and pre-configured catalog. So this is the power of storefronts. I think we're going to speak much more about this because we see that there are some PSPs who've effectively leveraged storefronts, but that is actually a small percentage of the market today. And this is an opportunity that with GelatoConnect, connected with storefront platforms such as Shopify, Infigo, Pressero, has a huge, growth potential here and an efficiency potential. And that's why we've listed here that moving your current MIS code-based work into storefronts, that's going to at least increase your efficiency and cost of owning that volume by more than 2x. So that is a big opportunity, something that you should all take away. This is not about GelatoConnect. This is the shift in the market. So how does GelatoConnect come in here? So let's look at the product and the demo. So firstly, within GelatoConnect, we have a module for storefronts. You can see here some of the different storefront platforms that we support that you can just plug into. This includes B2B storefronts such as WooCommerce or Infigo or Pressero. So you can set up your own shop for your print facility using some of these tools. Or it could be a B2C storefront like Shopify where a merchant is connecting to you and fulfilling orders. Both of these are supported. The unique element here is that we have native integrations with these storefronts. So what does that mean? You do not have to create an integration with an engineer. You do not have to create a product catalog on the storefront and a separate product catalog on GelatoConnect or your workflow system to connect them. We synchronize these things. So you set it up in one place and the other system will just absorb that and use the same reference point. As an example, Shopify or Infigo, we automatically create and map the products between your storefront and the workflow such that when the order comes in, everything is automated all the way from receipt of the order, pre-press, production, shipping. We are able to automate all of that end to end and also keep your customers updated. Let's say your customers ordered on Pressero. It comes into GelatoConnect. The order comes in. Every step along the way as it gets produced, the updates are going back to your customers. Hey, it's been printed, it's been cut, it's been shipped. So those are things that are going back into your customers. So you also reduce customer service costs. So this is the storefronts interface where you can come in and add your own storefront. You can create as many storefronts as you want. And when the order comes in, it just kind of comes into your GelatoConnect and it gets automatically pushed to production. We have automated pre-flighting, automated imposition, assigning to the right machines. All of that is happening within GelatoConnect. So this is pure automated work that you can unlock efficiency from. Just compare the efficiency of this versus some of the work that you might today do with your MI system where each step is, actually touched by a human being. So I wanna move to the next volume opportunity. And this one I know Zach is initially it was a bit I mean, this opportunity is totally untapped. Let me start with that, which is that how can PSPs share volume with each other to unlock growth? So that is really the not the this is not an idea that we came up with. It's the PSPs who have asked us because of course shipping is a big component of that. If you're able to produce closer to your customers or destination, then it's going to be better for everyone. So we've been working on this and we are very excited to share what we call automated order routing that is within GelatoConnect. What are the benefits of that? Number one, you are today working with customers who have other needs. They may want to produce products. Let's say they want to do merchandise or promo items, which you don't today support, like maybe apparel production. Or they have needs in a different country or a different market. So they have to go and find a different PSP for that. What if you could just say yes to everything? And I think that's where we started. If you could say yes to everything, it is not that the industry lacks production capability or printers in these markets. So what if you could just connect with those other PSPs to close the gaps in terms of products or delivery market? So with order routing, you can say yes to your all of your customer volume, identify PSPs who would want to take that work from you, and create flexible rules and routing decisions within the system to ship that volume to the right PSP. So that's how this works here. This also serves as a redundancy mechanism. Imagine this is peak season, Q4, and you just don't have production capacity. You have a luxury problem. There's too much volume. What are you going to do now? So this is also going to help you load balance and send the excess volume that you're not able to address effectively to another PSP and still get paid for it, right? And you can have a commercial agreement with these PSPs. I'm gonna share how this works within GelatoConnect here. So within GelatoConnect, within order routing, order intake, this is a capability that we launched recently, right? There's a section now called order routing. You have two types of connections. One is an outbound connection, which is what are the PSPs you want to send volume to based on certain conditions. And number two, inbound connections, which is what are the PSPs that have connected with you to send volume to you. So you're able to add both of these types of connections. So of course, both parties need to agree, and all of that happens on the platform. There's a friend request or a request to connect, and you approve that, yes, I want to do this type of work with this PSP. Once you've agreed on that, then you come to this interface where you can create what we call a routing rule. Let's take an example of a routing rule, right? So in this case here, this says if the country is US and if the state is, in this case, New York, and if the product is this, you have more conditions, or if the customer is this, right? Like there's many different conditions you can define. And if that condition is met, then direct that request or direct that order to this particular PSP. So you're able to define this, and then it's hands off the wheel. When the order comes in, if this condition is met, it is automatically sent there. And within your GelatoConnect dashboard, you will be able to track which order was sent to which PSP, so you can consolidate at the end of the month in terms of invoicing and any commercial agreements that you have with the other PSP here. Zach, I mean, you started off speaking about tariffs, right?
Yep.
And in different parts of the world, there is also a customs challenge, right? Like cross-border shipping. So you hear a lot. I mean, what do you hear specifically on this part here?
Yeah, what I've heard from a lot of folks is the uncertainty of what is going on around tariffs and so forth make it a challenge to plan and predict for even the next 3 months. But what this really provides is the ability to essentially eliminate the uncertainty. So work with the PSP cross-border route orders, from Canada to the US or vice versa, to be able to just, ultimately plan and help support, over the next coming months, what might take place. What I've also heard and where I'm very excited about this opportunity, for PSPs is one, this allows every PSP to go back to their customer and now take them global. So maybe you're just working with your customer here in the States or in the UK or in Germany. Every PSP can go to their customer and take them global now and start to produce and fulfill for them. And really also it's a way to help fill idle capacity. So the peaks and dips that you might see throughout the year as a PSP, you can now find opportunities to really fill those times where maybe it's a bit slower season and create more of that consistency throughout the whole year, and ultimately fill idle capacity. And, that's one thing that I've heard from a lot of folks where there's maybe 2 peak seasons, 3 peak seasons throughout the year, and they would really love to create, a bit more consistency throughout the whole entire calendar year, that this opens that ability up, to really, maximize their investment they made into the machines, maximize their production capabilities, and ultimately drive additional revenue.
Yeah. One aspect that I want to include here is that what what is underneath this? What is the technology underneath this? we automatically create and map products. So just to be clear here, the best path here, the path here is to connect GelatoConnect PSP. If you're using GelatoConnect, you can connect with another GelatoConnect PSP extremely seamlessly. You just need to say which are the products in your system that you want that PSP to produce. And when that PSP accepts the request, we automatically copy over those products, those impositions. Everything is getting copied so that PSP can just do that work for you. It is not an IT project. So that is where we have invested to simplify this process for you. It's just not a matter of saying, oh, the order came in, send it there. But we take it all the way to really map and create those products and make it easy for that printer who needs to receive work from work and do it effectively. So that's where the technology magic happens, really. Good. So we want to share one more path here. We know that there's different ways in which a customer may send order to you. One of them may be, an FTP-based order system. So this is also something that we do support now, which you can configure quite easily within GelatoConnect. So what we're trying to show here is the flexibility of the system, irrespective of when your customer comes and says, "Here is how my system can send orders to you." Our goal is that by using GelatoConnect, you're able to say yes and take that order in and quickly configure that. So in this case, when a customer drops an order into an FTP folder, we automatically scan that. We create order files and process that in a way that gets translated into an order, which can be fully automated end to end, from creating the order, processing the order, from pre-press, production, shipping. All of that gets automated as well. So another piece here in terms of flexibility of taking in orders. I have one last demo or feature to highlight. Some of you or all of you or many of you may know Gelato's history and how Gelato, we are also a print on demand platform. That's our background. It's that print on demand platform that has powered the development of the software, which we're now handing it out to you. So one of the areas that we've been working on, which is quite exciting, is we asked ourselves and our customers, our PSPs asked us, what if each PSPs could be a mini print on demand platform like Gelato? Like, what would that mean? So one of the strengths of Gelato lies in the fact that today a Shopify merchant or someone selling on WooCommerce or Etsy can just connect and start selling right now. So literally in like a few minutes, you would be able to start selling print on demand products on any one of these platforms. So what if a merchant could connect directly with you, the PSP, and start producing orders? Because B2C is really an untapped market for the PSPs directly. And what if we make that market accessible? What we found is that it is surprising how much interest there is within the PSP community for such a sort of print on demand platform product that you could build on top of GelatoConnect. So this is what I'm going to show. It's something that we are currently in beta with the number of customers. If you're interested, let us know. We'd be happy to show you a demo how this works, and also the opportunities that it will unlock for you in terms of B2C volume. So let's move in here. I showed you earlier the customers interface within GelatoConnect. One of the things that you can do within this page is that you can create what is called storefronts access. So you will give a customer, let's take an example of a Shopify merchant who's selling tons of posters and wall art. So that Shopify seller wants to use your facility for fulfillment. And let's say that customer is called Athletics. And what you're doing here is you are, putting in their email address and giving them access to connect with you and start shipping with you, meaning they need to do the work to set up the system and create the products. So you send them an invitation to say, hey, Athletics, come on, let's do business. Connect with my GelatoConnect, and we will fulfill those orders for you. So the next thing is that they will get an email says, hey, PSPX has invited you. Now come and connect your store. So they will come to this interface, which is the GelatoConnect storefronts interface, which you can, by the way, white label and call it your name. And once you have white labeled that, and the merchant lands here, in this case, we said the example is a Shopify merchant. So they would come in here, click here. They will follow the steps to connect their Shopify account directly with your GelatoConnect to send orders to you. And as part of that, they will see your portfolio of products that you have built within GelatoConnect. So in this case, it's posters. Let's say you've created poster products within your workflow system. They will see what are the things that you can produce quite easily, and they can design their own products. So this is the editor within GelatoConnect storefronts, where in this case, it's a poster. They design the poster and they will just publish it on their Shopify, which will also publish it within GelatoConnect. So what am I trying to say? These merchants can connect with you without you having to do any work, publish products, and whenever order comes in, you will fulfill that and you can invoice that customer for it. So this is a way. I started off the webinar saying, what if you could have no cap on the number of customers who can actually connect with you, and you can start supporting their volume. This is one such opportunity. There could be thousands of these merchants, and if you tap into this growth opportunity, they would be able to connect with you and start selling as well. So this is an exciting new development, and an untapped opportunity overall for the PSPs, I would say. So very excited to hear any feedback or questions that you have about this aspect as well. With that, Zach, over to you.
Yeah, so appreciate that, Pradeep. And one of the things that we have heard lately in conversations and talking with PSPs is, some have turned down business because there's been concerns about, the onboarding of that client, or, is the revenue that you're going to be able to receive ultimately worth the effort to onboard that new customer? If we are going to onboard this new client, we're going to have to hire 4 or 5 additional folks. And we really want to eliminate those types of challenges or those types of conversations and open up with the platform the ability to just say yes to more orders, to orders coming in from different channels, into new revenue streams. And this is really what we were trying to drive in support with our customers. And what we were hearing from the market is open up the ability to just say yes to more orders. Pradeep, I'm not sure if there are questions before we go into where to be able to request the demo. But if you are interested in talking and requesting a demo, you can visit gelato.com/connect, fill out the request a demo button, and our team will be able to set that up. But Pradeep, any questions in the chat that?
No questions yet, and also we are a bit over time, Zach. So I suggest we will wait for these requests, and we are happy to show a deeper dive of these, because there are a number of opportunities we presented, all the way from direct API connections to storefronts, to connecting directly with some of the pre-integrated brands, and the white label storefront interface. So we'd love to hear your thoughts, feedback, based on that.
Great. Yeah, well, thank you, Pradeep, and thank you, everyone. And looking forward to connecting here in the future with everyone. And please feel free to reach out and request a demo. We're happy to connect and happy to support any questions that do come up.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.